Most people do not lose their future through enemies, they lose it through misplaced mercy. Power leaks not through attack, but through rescue. Every time you intervene to save the wrong person, you quietly transfer your time, credibility, momentum, and authority into a void that never repays you. This is not kindness, this is strategic suicide. History is ruthless on this point. Civilizations, leaders, and dominant men collapse not because they lacked strength, but because they extended it to those who could not carry it. What follows is not morality, it is structure, it is survival. It is the logic beneath power that polite society refuses to teach. Number one begins with the most common and most destructive figure, the chronically helpless. This person appears weak, unlucky, perpetually overwhelmed by life. They are always one intervention away from stability and never actually reach it. Psychologically, the chronically helpless are not empty of ability, they are empty of agency. Their identity is built around being saved. They do not solve problems because problems keep them relevant. Each crisis renews attention, sympathy, and control over others' resources. When you save them, you become part of their operating system. Machiavelli warned that dependency corrupts both sides. A ruler who allows citizens to rely on him for everything breeds weakness and resentment simultaneously. The same applies at the personal level. When you absorb responsibility for someone who refuses to develop strength, you train them to collapse again. Worse, you train yourself to accept disorder as normal. Over time, your standards erode. You start managing chaos instead of building leverage. The chronically helpless drain power invisibly. They do not attack you, they occupy you. They convert urgency into permanence. They promise gratitude, but gratitude never translates into growth. The moment support is withdrawn, they fall back into crisis, often blaming you for abandoning them. Saving them once becomes a contract you never signed but are punished for breaking. Sun Tzu observed that armies burdened by non-combatants lose speed, clarity, and morale. Power requires mobility. The helpless slow everything. They introduce emotional fog where decisiveness is required. The tactical consequence of saving them is stagnation. Your progress stalls while their pattern remains unchanged. The only correct response is distance without explanation, not cruelty, not confrontation. Withdrawal. Power affirmation to seal this law: I do not rescue weakness. Number two exposes a more subtle threat, the unaccountable. Unlike the helpless, this person appears capable, articulate, and intelligent. They speak the language of insight and ambition, yet their results never match their explanations. Every failure is contextualized. Every mistake is justified. Every collapse is blamed on systems, people, or timing. Psychologically, the unaccountable suffer from ego preservation at all costs. Responsibility threatens their self-image, so they reroute blame to survive internally. Machiavelli made it clear that outcomes define authority, excuses dissolve it. A leader who explains instead of delivers teaches others that performance is optional. When you save the unaccountable, you validate their internal lie. That intent matters more than execution. You become their shield. Your credibility absorbs their failures while they remain intact. This type is especially dangerous because they are persuasive. They can argue endlessly. They can sound reasonable even while producing nothing. Engaging them drains energy because the battlefield is narrative, not reality. Robert Greene warned that such people attach themselves to capable figures and rise through proximity rather than merit. When collapse occurs, they vanish, leaving the protector exposed. The tactical cost of saving the unaccountable is reputational erosion. Others begin to associate you with lowered standards. Discipline weakens. Boundaries blur. Over time, your authority is questioned not openly but quietly, which is far more dangerous. Power does not negotiate responsibility, it enforces it. The moment explanation replaces consequence, decay begins. Power affirmation for this law: I reward responsibility, not excuses. Number 3 addresses the most deceptive figure of all, the entitled. This person believes they deserve outcomes without corresponding sacrifice. They may be talented, connected, or once successful, but entitlement poisons discipline. Psychologically, entitlement is superiority without accountability. They see support not as a gift, but as a debt owed to them by the world. Machiavelli observed that those who believe they are owed loyalty rarely earn it. Entitlement breeds contempt because it removes reciprocity. When you save the entitled, they do not feel gratitude, they feel confirmation. Your effort reinforces their belief that others exist to compensate for their discomfort. Entitled individuals are dangerous because they escalate demands. What begins as a favor becomes an expectation. Resistance is interpreted as betrayal. They frame boundaries as injustice. Over time, you are no longer helping them. You are servicing their self. Historically, entitled elites hollowed empires. They consumed resources without producing stability. Their presence signaled decay long before collapse was visible. The same principle applies personally. Saving the entitled converts your strength into their entitlement fuel. The tactical consequence is loss of leverage. Once entitlement sets in, you cannot renegotiate terms without conflict. The only position of power is refusal before dependency forms. Power affirmation to lock this law: I owe nothing to entitlement. These 3 figures share one trait: they consume power without generating it. Saving them feels virtuous in the moment, but power is not built on sentiment. It is built on alignment between effort, responsibility, and outcome. Mercy without structure creates parasites. Strength without boundaries invites collapse. This is only the beginning. The next layer cuts deeper into betrayal disguised as loyalty, ambition masked as support, and chaos hidden behind charm. Power is preserved not by who you fight, but by who you refuse to save. Power does not fracture suddenly, it erodes through proximity. By the time collapse is visible, the damage has already been normalized. The next figures are not obvious drains. They are sophisticated, they appear aligned, they speak the language of loyalty, growth, and shared vision. Yet history shows that the most dangerous threats are not those who oppose you openly, but those who weaken you quietly from within. Number 4 is the disguised competitor. This person positions themselves as an ally while internally measuring themselves against you. Psychologically, they are driven by comparison, not cooperation. Your success does not inspire them, it irritates them. They study your moves not to support, but to replicate, surpass, or undermine. Their friendliness is tactical, not relational. Machiavelli warned that those closest to power often hunger for it the most. Proximity breeds ambition when humility is absent. The disguised competitor gathers information under the pretense of trust. They learn your methods, your weaknesses, your timing. Then, when opportunity appears, dissolves instantly. When opportunity appears, alignment dissolves instantly. Saving this person is catastrophic because you subsidize your replacement. Your mentorship accelerates their challenge. Your openness sharpens their weapon. When the moment arrives, they justify betrayal internally by reframing rivalry as destiny. Robert Greene wrote that envy disguised as admiration is one of the most common sources of treachery. The tactical consequence is surprise loss of position. Power that leaks through overexposure cannot be reclaimed through confrontation. The only defense is controlled distance and selective opacity. Power affirmation: I remain unreadable. Number 5 is the emotionally volatile. This person is intense, passionate, expressive. They bring energy, but not stability. Psychologically, they are governed by impulse. Their moods dictate reality. In moments of calm, they promise alignment. In moments of stress, they detonate unpredictably. Machiavelli emphasized that consistency is the spine of authority. Volatility corrodes trust because outcomes become uncertain. When you save the volatile, you inherit their chaos. You begin managing reactions instead of strategy. Decisions shift from optimal to appeasing. Emotionally volatile people force environments to adapt to them. Over time, others walk on edge. Planning becomes fragile. Progress slows because emotional containment replaces execution. Sun Tzu warned that disorder within the ranks invites defeat without battle. The tactical cost is strategic paralysis. Power requires calm under pressure. Aligning with volatility ensures distraction at critical moments. Strength must be boring, not explosive. Power affirmation: I choose stability over intensity. Number 6 targets the most socially praised figure, the perpetual victim. This person has a refined narrative of injustice. They are articulate about their suffering. They attract sympathy effortlessly. Psychologically, the victim identity provides moral leverage. It shields them from accountability while granting influence over emotionally responsive people. Machiavelli understood that moral framing is a weapon. Those who position themselves as wronged gain protection from scrutiny. When you save the perpetual victim, you endorse their narrative. You become complicit in their stagnation. The danger is subtle. Victims do not seek solutions, they seek validation. Progress threatens their identity. If they improve, the story ends. Thus, they unconsciously sabotage recovery. Any challenge is reframed as cruelty. Any boundary. Robert Greene noted that playing the victim is a form of control. It recruits allies without earning respect. The tactical consequence is moral entanglement. Once you are cast as the rescuer, withdrawal brands you as the villain. Power cannot operate under emotional blackmail. Clarity demands separation from those who weaponize suffering. Power affirmation: I am not controlled by guilt. These laws reveal a deeper pattern. The threat is not always weakness. Sometimes it is ambition, volatility, or moral manipulation. Saving the wrong people entangles you in their internal wars. Power requires solitude at times. Distance is not coldness, it is clarity. What remains are the final and most dangerous archetypes, those who exploit loyalty, patience, and optimism itself. These are the figures that dismantle power at its peak, not its beginning. Power rarely collapses from obvious enemies. It collapses at its highest altitude when confidence is strong and vigilance is relaxed. The final figures are not loud, needy, or chaotic. They are patient. They wait for trust to mature. They rely on time rather than force. These are the types that undo kings, not beginners. Number 7 is the opportunistic loyalist. This person presents unwavering support, but only when alignment benefits them. Psychologically, they are loyal to outcomes, not to people or principles. Their allegiance shifts with momentum. When you rise, they attach. When pressure appears, they reposition silently. Machiavelli warned that loyalty tested only in prosperity is meaningless. True allegiance reveals itself under risk. The opportunistic loyalist avoids risk entirely. They support publicly when safety is guaranteed and disappear privately when cost emerges. Saving them is dangerous because you mistake proximity for commitment. This type studies optics carefully. They are present for celebrations, announcements, and visible wins. When defense, sacrifice, or endurance is required, they rationalize absence. Over time, their presence inflates perceived support while real backing remains hollow. The tactical consequence is false security. Decisions are made assuming support that never materializes. When opposition arrives, you stand exposed, surprised not by attack, but by absence. Sun Tzu warned that armies relying on unreliable allies are already defeated. Power requires alignment that survives pressure. Anything less is decoration. Power affirmation: I measure loyalty by cost. not words. Number 8 is the patient extractor. This person does not rush. They build slowly. They offer help, consistency, and calm presence. Psychologically, they are transactional at depth, not at surface. They give early to normalize taking later. Their strength lies in endurance. Machiavelli noted that long patience is often mistaken for virtue. In reality, patience can be a strategy of acquisition. The patient extractor records every favor, every concession, every moment of access. They never demand openly. They wait until refusal. Saving this person binds you through history. Their leverage is cumulative. Over time, boundaries blur because precedent replaces intention. When they finally extract, it feels unreasonable to resist because so much has already been given. The tactical danger is invisible debt. You begin operating under obligations you never consciously agreed to. Your autonomy erodes quietly. Robert Greene warned that those who accumulate favors eventually control outcomes. Power requires clean lines. Generosity without structure becomes ownership by another name. Power affirmation: I own nothing beyond my choice. Number 9 focuses on a subtle but important pattern: the charming influencer. This individual is socially capable, emotionally aware, and highly adaptable. Their impact does not come through opposition, but through gradual influence. They rarely challenge systems directly. Instead, they adjust tone, expectations, and interpretation over time. Psychologically, they are drawn to influence without clear responsibility. They prefer shaping outcomes while remaining detached from ownership of results. Machiavelli noted that disorder often emerges gradually rather than through direct confrontation. Influence can enter quietly, framed as understanding or flexibility. The charming influencer may describe structure as unnecessary rigidity, discipline as emotional distance, or boundaries as lack of openness. Their language emphasizes comfort and alignment, which can slowly blur established standards without openly rejecting them. When extended support or access is given to this person, it reaches beyond material help. It allows participation in shared norms, conversations, and decision-making spaces. Their presence shapes perception. Over time, clarity can weaken. Expectations become less defined. Authority feels less anchored. Others may begin questioning direction without being able to clearly explain why. The practical effect is gradual inefficiency. Decisions take longer. Discussions expand without resolution. Direction becomes less focused. Sun Tzu warned that internal uncertainty reduces effectiveness more than external pressure. When clarity declines, momentum naturally slows. Healthy systems function best when influence is matched with responsibility. When influence expands without accountability, balance is lost. Structure is not opposed to empathy. It supports long-term stability. Clear standards protect progress. Power affirmation: I protect structure above approval. These principles complete the pattern. Stability is not created by accommodating every influence. It is maintained through discernment. Every choice to extend support shapes the environment that follows. Consideration without boundaries creates imbalance. Thoughtful distance preserves clarity. Machiavelli did not promote harshness. He emphasized understanding reality as it operates, not as it is wished to be. Progress favors those who recognize where effort belongs and where it should remain reserved. Those who advance and remain steady understand this early: time, energy, and authority are limited resources. They must be directed intentionally. Every alliance shapes trajectory. Careful selection supports continuity. Final affirmation: I invest my energy where it creates stability and growth.